Welcome to KBS World Radio. You're now tuned in to Korea24's Korea Book Club, where we explore the world of Korean literature. This is our weekend replay edition, playing back our book segment from Wednesday's show. We hope you enjoy it. I'm your host, Kwon Jang-woo. This week we have with us Barry Welsh, a literary critic and long-time contributor. He joins us on the line this week. Let's connect with him now. Barry, hello. It's great to talk to you again.
Yes, it's great to be here.
Okay, so what book are you introducing to our listeners today?
So today we have The Trunk, or Tronke in Korean. And The Trunk is a fascinating novel that flips the typical contract marriage trope found in many K-dramas on its head. So rather than leading to romance, it explores the darker, more transactional side of relationships. The author, Kim Ryeo-ryeong, explores themes like gender roles, social pressures, and the commodification of marriage in contemporary Korea. The novel is highly critical of these marriage and relationship trends. It was originally published in Korea in 2015, but the novel has now been brought to English-speaking readers and was published late 2024. And it was actually translated by a collaborative group called the KoLab, which is a group of students from an Australian university. So the translation of this novel was actually a kind of class project, so there isn't a single named translator. Anyway, the novel dives into this unconventional world of secret contract marriages among Korea's elite. And in the story, we meet No In-ji, a nearly 30-year-old woman with 5 marriages under her belt. But none of these are marriages for love. In-ji works for NM, New Marriage, in a secret division of this matchmaking agency that rents out spouses like In-ji to its wealthiest clients. Her job is to be the perfect wife, tailored to her clients' desires until the contract ends, and therefore leaving no messy emotional entanglements or protracted legal battles. However, things take a turn when a previous client, a mysterious sort of music producer, wants to hire her again for a second marriage. And as their story unfolds, we sort of learn the secrets about In-ji's own past and the shadowy operations of this agency that she works for. And this novel, The Trunk, has already inspired a Netflix adaptation starring Gong Yoo, which seems to be very popular. And with this new English translation and the Netflix adaptation, Kim seems like she has cemented her place as one of Korea's more thought-provoking authors.
Right, so there is already this high-profile TV adaptation, but I understand that it is very different from book. And
yes. Mm-hmm.
The translation is very interesting, a collaborative effort by Australian university students, as you said, which started as a sort of a translation workshop project. They're called KoLab, that's KoLab, and this manuscript was later picked up by the publisher HarperCollins. Can you go into a bit more about some of the themes that you think Kim Ryeo-ryeong is exploring in the novel?
Yeah, right. Like you said, so there is a range of sort of complex themes. Some of them are commented on, more than others, and it is a very thought-provoking story. But at its core, the novel is critiquing this transactional nature of modern relationships. So Kim is exploring how marriage, traditionally viewed as a sacred bond, has become a commodified arrangement and this sort of heightened and almost dystopian take on the institution of marriage. So the contract marriages in the story serve as a lens through which Kim examines these social pressures, obviously particularly those placed on women, to conform to traditional roles, traditional marriage roles. But then there's other things going on as well. So Kim's also looking at themes of general gender inequality, mental health. There's a bit about queer identity. And through Inji, we see the struggle of a generation grappling with declining birth rates, the abandonment of traditional life goals like marriage and family, and driven by social expectations, and then also the economic constraints. So the Inji's experiences do reflect these broader issues, which many will recognize as big topics. And some of these other issues include the exploitation and violence that women often face in patriarchal society. Kim also sheds light on the loneliness and disconnection that pervades modern life in general. And again, this trunk that we have is this metaphor for all of these things. And in part, it symbolizes Inji's rootlessness, as well as her desire for freedom. But she has all of these systemic obstacles that thwart her goals and aspirations. And so all of these elements come together to create this satirical narrative about contemporary Korean society with some humor and poignancy and insight.
So it is tackling a lot of issues here, many of which are still very much relevant today, even though the original Korean story was published a decade ago, as you said. What about the style? How does Kim's storytelling style contribute to the novel's impact?
Right. So her style is sharp, satirical, deeply reflective, and this enhances the impact of the story. It's not a thriller. This book is getting marketed in some places as a thriller, but that isn't what it is. It's a story that's laced with dark humor, which brings levity to these sort of serious critiques of social dynamics, but which helps the reader to digest these kind of heavier themes. But really, it isn't a thriller story. It's a narrative about Inji's daily experiences as this field wife and her internal reflections on these different situations that she sees. And overall, we get this intimate, nuanced portrayal of this one woman's disillusionment with modern relationships and the expectations that are placed on her. So it's satirical. It's about marriage being commodified, transactional, human relationships, and just the general pervasive pressure that women face in contemporary Korea. So the narrative is layered. There's several subplots, like there's a stalker who disrupts her life. There's moral dilemmas that are faced by her clients. And all of these things add complexity and tension. And these elements create moments of suspense, but the novel isn't really a traditional thriller, so don't go in expecting that. It's a deeply character-driven exploration of these themes, so gender roles, social conformity, and so on.
Yes, it does sound like a very intriguing work. Once again, it's called The Trunk by Kim Ryeo-ryeong, translated by the KoLab, and that was our pick for Korea Book Club. That's it, Barry. Thank you for that review. We appreciate it as ever, and we'll see you again soon. Take care.
Okay, take care.
And that's all for this week's Korea Book Club. You can check out more of the works we discussed on our website at world.kbs.co.kr. Join us again next week.